What Happened When Change Hit Africa? Directed by Mackenzie and Ansley.
Imagine having strangers come into your country and completely changing things. They colonize your land, they steal your resources, and they separate your people. How would that feel? This is exactly what Africans went through when Europeans came and colonized Africa.
There were many changes, long-standing impacts, and consequences of European colonization, some good and some bad.
The first consequence of European colonization was that Europeans stole resources and land from Africa. Africa was very rich in natural resources, and that made Europe so interested in controlling their land and people.
Another change that occurred in Africa was nationalism. The definition of nationalism is pride in one's country. Africans learned nationalism from the Europeans. This ended up hurting the Europeans because it helps the African countries gain back their independence. It encouraged them to fight back and believe in their country. Nationalism also sparked the Pan-African movement, which led to the creation of the African Union in 2001.
Another thing was that there was a huge lifestyle change for all Africans because Europeans brought new weaponry and industrialized Africa. Also, they lost their independence, which obviously had a huge impact on everyone.
Not only did Europeans affect the land, but also the people. Artificial boundaries mixed tribes and made a lot of tension between the Europeans and Africans. The Europeans also brought over Christianity, which became a religion for some tribes. Many white people came over into black communities, and so now there are whites in Africa.
When the Europeans colonized, they changed the governments for the new countries to be a lot like the ones in Europe. This gave Africa a more structured political system. The countries still use the types of governments.
Economics were also affected when Europeans brought over industrial technology and developed profitable industries. This paved the path for industrialization for many of the African countries throughout the continent. Many modern-day markets are still based on the market set up and introduced to them during the imperialist era.
In conclusion, Africa is now independent and every single country has gained its independence from Europe, but the transition back to the regular lifestyle wasn't easy. There were many civil wars and other violence, and some impacts of European colonization will last forever.